It's been 10 years.
The fight is done. We lost.
Leave us alone, Ben.
When the time comes, he must be trained.
Like you trained his father.
It's my responsibility.
Obi-Wan.
I've loved you always.
There's a thing that swallows you. It holds you together when it's tearing you apart. It's terrifying.
The key to hunting Jedi.
They're coming.
Is patience.
Jedi are cowards. Where is Obi-Wan?
The Jedi are all but extinct.
The Jedi code is like an itch. He cannot help it.
Stay hidden,
Or we will not survive.
What is up, everyone? I am Chris Knight, and you are watching the Obi-Wan Kenobi Roundtable here on Khaos Central. I want to thank all of you guys, and I just noticed I always do this. Like, there's always going to be something that's like, boomer, 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 boomer. There we go. We'll do this. There we go. Right background now. Anyways, how is everybody doing? Thank you for coming. I hope you guys watched this last week's episode, because I'm going to tell you right now, I really think it's like one of the best Star Wars episodes as far as the Disney Plus stuff goes that they've done. Maybe not the best, but one of the best. So we're going to get to that here really quick. Of course, I want you to meet the people that are on the panel. Basically, everybody you see here has been here before, but we're going to go around and let you guys hear from them. Danny, tell everybody about yourself and where you can be found.
I'm Danny, aka Comment Chat. You can find me Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesday nights here on this channel, along with two gentlemen to my left and right. Saturday sometimes we do a show called Square One. Friday we did on Anzo's shows Ms. Marvel, and of course tonight we're doing Obi-Wan. So I'm around.
All right. Up next, Anzo, Bigger Forward Entertainment. Anzo, tell everybody about yourself, please.
Yeah, man, you guys know the channel, Bigger Forward Entertainment. All the shows that we do. Just here to talk about this episode of Obi-Wan, man. Can't wait.
All right. And long time no see, it's Geiskar of the Basco. What was that?
You say
What was what?
Oh, I hear myself through somebody's. Oh, I know where I hear it from. See, I hate when Twitter does that to me. Anyways, okay. Geiskar of the Basco scenario, guys. It's been a while since he's been here, but thank you, Geiskar, for showing up. Tell everybody about your channel, please.
The Basco Scenario is my channel. I have catch me on Mondays on Khaos Centrals, on Danny's Chaotic Conversation, and catch me on my show, The Hangout, as well as Friday, usually for the Hold Up Wait, more political and stuff. But yeah, thank you for having me, man. And let's talk about this beautiful disaster.
Let's see how this is going to go. Okay, up next, number one, tell everybody about yourself, please.
Number one, you can catch me on my channel, number one. That's all I got.
Okay, fair enough. And last but certainly not least, it is the Austinator. Austinator, tell them about yourself.
Hello. Hello, everybody. I'm the Austinator. I don't really do a lot anymore, but, because of work. So, at this point, I stream when I feel like it, and I just go on to everybody else's shows. So, Chris, thanks for having me on. I can't wait to talk about this episode. Oh, God, I got to talk about this episode. Son of a bitch.
Really?
Oh, man,
this is interesting. This is actually very interesting. Let's get this guy on here and let him talk about himself. It is Jason Lee Tucker. Jason, please tell everybody about yourself.
What's going on, everybody? Jason Lee Tucker Statement. I just got into my house. I was rushing, hauling ass down the road trying to get here. Check out channel Wednesdays, usually at 9 o'clock. Me and Mike Stone do the coffee break. I'm running. On Friday nights, me and Austin, we got to get back. We had the late night snack show. We're probably going to be getting back to it in the next few weeks. I got to get Austin. It's good to check his schedule. Also, on Wednesday nights over on Vasco's channel, we have the Hangout. And here on Sunday nights. Thank you, Chris. Let me pop on.
Damn, man, breathe, man, breathe.
Yes, breathe. I think we got Danny back. All right, good. We got Danny back. Let's get Danny where he goes. Let's get Anzo up there. Let's move everybody around a little bit here.
Oh, also, happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there.
That's right. Happy Father's Day to everybody out there. We got 12 people watching. Do me a favor really quick, guys. Make sure you smash that like button and grab that link from up above or go over to my Twitter at ChrisKnight5150 and share it out. It's on Facebook. It's on Instagram, too, if you follow me over there. But grab the link, share it out, retweet the tweet that I have out. That's how we get this stuff spread around. Glad to see so many of you here. There's a poll. Make sure you vote on that poll. We'll have a couple of those throughout the stream. All right. Let's get down to brass tacks on this because I heard a couple people say some stuff that I am kind of surprised maybe, but I'll listen to what they have to say and then I'll kick them as they say what they have to say because, well, I can't. Anyways, let's start with Danny. Danny, give me your overall thoughts on this episode of Obi-Wan.
I agree with your opening statement. I think this is one of the better Star Wars episodes that Disney has done. I'm very pleased with this episode. And as usual, this is not let the bad guy that we've grown accustomed to, Darth Vader, look weak, like I've heard many other YouTubers say in the past. Darth Vader looks like a beast. So I'm very pleased to see that. Mm-hmm. Overall, I thought this episode was awesome. Can't wait to see the next.
Awesome. Anzo, overall thoughts.
Sorry about that. Yeah, this episode was great. I loved it. Thought it was good. I enjoyed it really a lot. We talked about it earlier before. I think it's the best thing that Disney Star Wars has done so far. Yeah, overall thoughts, great.
Okay, great. Should I even talk to this Joker below me? My God. All right, guys, overall thoughts.
It was like Vader looked really good, badass. I can't agree with that.
Okay.
Was it the best episode in a Disney series? Yeah, it could be up there.
Okay.
I still preferred. I really like that episode on Boba Fett. That was with the Mandalorian. Was because of its ties to.
I mean, the Boba Fett Mandalorian, the
Mandalorian episode in the Boba Fett. Yeah, exactly.
Or whatever.
Yeah, I kind of like that one. But yeah, definitely. You know, the nostalgia is there, obviously, and Vader was badass. So Vader did steal this episode, in my opinion.
There's a sound coming from my mic?
Yeah, I can hear you.
No. Someone said there's a high pitched sound. Is that coming from me?
Or is it me?
Because I was muted for a while, so I don't know if I'm gonna mute. If you guys hear it, let me know.
I didn't hear anything.
No, I don't hear anything.
Microphone check 1, 2. Here we go. Oh. All right.
I don't hear anything now, so cut it back on.
I fixed my stuff.
Do you hear anything?
I fixed something I had going on too.
But it ain't nothing that's like.
You hear what?
Yeah, I hear a little bit of whine too, but I'm not sure who that's from.
That's probably my fan, my Mac fan.
Oh.
If you guys hear a little something, but it's okay.
That's all good. All right. So, number one. What is your overall thoughts?
I thought it was awesome. The way Vader toyed with Reva was like she was nothing. Was great. I mean, there's a couple little goofy parts to it. Don't get me wrong. But it's just it's one of the best episodes ever. Nothing's going to top the Luke episode to me.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, that's always.
No, I don't necessarily disagree with that. So
yeah.
Anything else?
No. I'll get to my likes and dislikes.
Okay, fair enough.
Can I just say I'm actually shocked that number one actually liked this episode.
He said that beforehand, and I was like, okay, now tell me what you really think. And he's like, no, I really thought. I was like, holy crap. I said, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to do an episode.
Wonders never cease.
It's great, though. All right. Ostinator.
And for the record, this is better than a Luke moment.
Facts, Danny. I agree with you.
I don't know. We'll get into that later. Okay, so Ostinator, overall thoughts.
Well, I'm basically going to say what Guy Scar said. I don't think the episode was bad. I will agree it's one of the better episodes out of these series, but there were a few things, though, that did stick in my craw. However, though, it was cool seeing Vader say, "Fuck them kids," because that's basically what happened in that shit. That was pretty cool. There were a few things I liked, but then there were also some things that made me go, really? And it made me roll my eyes a little bit like, come on. But other than that, it wasn't bad.
There were a few things, me too.
All right, Jason Lee Tucker, tell everybody what your overall thoughts were.
The episode was fire. I mean, even with the nitpicking little things we could probably find about it, I mean, that Vader scene was just, my hairs on my arms were racing on it. I feel like my spider was tingling. Amazing episode. I mean, if the next episode is as good as this one, I mean, I'm praying for we get a season 2. I mean, it just was amazing.
What? Okay, man.
Yeah.
Another one, eh, Danny? I know, right?
I cannot believe it. Usually
all right.
Him and number one used to be Captain Negatives.
Yeah, we're gonna have like a positive Obi-Wan show today. This is good.
My overall thoughts are, like I said, this is one of the best. I don't know if I'd put it up against the Luke moment because I think they're two different moments. I think one is the hero's return, and this one is just what I'm really happy about with this is just the way that they portrayed Darth Vader. Every time Darth Vader has been in this show so far, save the one time that he didn't walk through the fire, which, I mean, that's a nitpick, really, but save for that one time, every time Darth Vader has been here, he has been a boss. And he has said, I'm the bad guy. Because if you think about it, the way that Darth Vader was originally presented to us, he was the second guy. He was the lapdog to Tarkin. So, I mean, ever since then, though, the one thing you can say is that every time Darth Vader has shown up in a movie or on the TV, it has been a badass moment. So they've continued that so far, and I'm glad. That makes me very happy to see it that way. So,
I tell you what,
just the Vader scene.
I'm contemplating blocking Shooty Jizzle. Because he is saying some bullshit.
He's on that Miss Marvel shit again, Danny.
Oh my God! I'm telling you, had he not made these fire intros, I would block his ass.
I know. If it wasn't for that, and there was some way without blocking you, because I'm not going to do that, and I'm not going to mute you either.
I'm telling you,
there's some way that I can hit this button right here.
I'd block the shit out of his ass.
Well, you know what, Danny? He told me like a couple months ago he's working on some new stuff which we haven't got, so I think we can block him for that.
Oh,
I think we can block him.
50. This one's cool. I'm gonna start like Piesse. I cannot see how you can sit on the Miss Marvel roundtable chat
He needs
and
to be
talk
Starlight
nothing
Pit,
but great
Ego
things.
Check, Phantom Zone.
Ego check.
Let's start over, shall we?
All right. We got through the overall thoughts. Let's go with likes. We're going to start down with Jason Lee Tucker. Jason Lee Tucker, give me your likes, please.
I mean, you know, the Vader scene, you know, in way he trolled Reva, you know, she was going to think she's going to sneak up behind him. He's just like right behind him, you know, that little force made her stop that lightsaber. And then he trolled her around, you know, she's running around trying to, you know, then he pulled his own lightsaber out and he grabs hers, breaks it in two. He's like, here, he throws one to her and says, what can you do? And then pretty much the whole scene. But I like the way we're actually seeing what, you know, the back. So we're going to see the backstory of Reva. It looks like the next episode. So it's going to, we're going to see more of that when the younglings died, and I guess I'm assuming the way they showed it, that she got stabbed when she she was, you know, that look when she had eyes. So Vader's already stabbed her twice now. So I mean, it's just, I mean, so it's great. We're going to see that backstory, and I know y'all probably ain't gonna like this, but we're going to probably see Grogu some little flashback. I have a feeling we're going to see that because, you know, he in that little that thing on where he sees his own flashbacks, you know, that's that same scene going on there. So he's there.
It's similar, yeah.
So I mean, there's a possible. Yeah, I was gonna say there's a possibility they're gonna throw it in there. So you know, if it does, they do. Yeah, but I mean, it's great. You know, it's like, I mean, it's just, you know, like
a series together though.
Yeah, it'll tie it. I mean, it will tie it. Though. I mean, because after, so I just say
the series together.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, like I said, you know, we might have little hard on Reva at the beginning, but I actually, you know, her character has come along, and and I'm looking forward to seeing her backstory and see how it ties along. I mean, where it goes Jason, from there, I don't.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but don't put in that. We weren't hard on Reva. Go ahead and say the real.
All right, okay. Even I'll say all right. Well, some of us, some. I'll put some. I'll put the word some.
Mm-hmm.
Some of us was, but you know, mostly I mean, when it gets to you know, later on, you know, we'll be like, she's got a, you know, like all characters, even Samuel, you know, they got to be dead before the sequel series. I mean, we got to look forward to that. I mean, they got to kill them off somewhere, but I'm looking forward to where it goes from there. So very, it's a great episode.
Okay. All right, let's go to the Austinator. Austinator, tell us.
Well, I'll definitely say, I would say Vader is definitely the highlight of the show overall, and he was definitely a highlight in this episode. I mean, it's really hard to screw up Vader, to tell you the truth. All you have to do is have him be a badass, and then that's it. Like, Vader in this episode was badass. He made Reva look like a total punk, which he should have, if you're comparing power levels. So, and he basically beat her without a lightsaber for a majority of that fight. So that's impressive. The flashbacks were cool. I definitely liked seeing Anakin and Obi-Wan sparring against one another. I thought that was really cool. I did like the fake Jedi character coming back. I will say, I always like seeing him. He's got some great personality to him. Tell you the truth, I think that's pretty much. Well, actually, no. I mean, it's always cool seeing Obi-Wan too. I mean, I think Leia definitely has improved a little bit more. She definitely does feel like Leia a little bit, like because Leia was always very smarky and smart mouth. So I thought she plays her role really well. And yeah, I guess the battle sequences looked great too. But other than that, I thought those are really all my positives, and also the music too.
Okay, cool, good. Number one, positives, please.
Yeah, besides obviously Vader toying with Reva in that whole fight, I really didn't like the Anakin and Obi-Wan flashbacks. I thought that was basically the best part of the whole episode was the flashbacks to Obi-Wan teaching him another lesson, basically. You know, that even without a weapon, a Jedi is still, you know, powerful, basically. You know, just having a weapon does not mean that you are in control. And Vader turns that around on Reva. I thought quite interesting because he was without a weapon basically that whole fight and still whipped her ass. So I thought that was a very interesting contrast between what he was teaching her and what he and the smackdown he did on Reva there, basically. You know how that got flipped basically. That he took those teachings, you know, very well, and it's interesting that really, well, I mean, so far, what has Sidious taught Vader? Basically nothing. To me, it's all Obi-Wan's teachings and what he learned, you know, becoming a Jedi so far. Unless they show it, Sidious has not taught him anything. But you know, so it's pretty interesting how, and I don't think they'll even show him on the screen, Sidious, in this whole thing. So it's interesting, but then again, how much in control Vader is now versus how much in control he is later. He gets seriously downgraded in the next 10 years if he's under Tarkin, basically, when you think about it. So what, you know, I'm almost more interested in a Vader series that explores why the downgrade. Did Sidious, obviously he had to do that on purpose to make him feel inferior or something, because right now, I mean, this Vader could kick Sidious's ass, if you ask me, but you know, but yeah, and then yeah, like you know, the power droid got the happy send off. You know, Tala died heroically. You know, so we got some good send offs, and those loose ends are basically out of the way. You know, I think all we need is Mace Windu to show up, and this will be a perfect series, basically, right?
Well, I think that Danny would agree with that. So
yeah, I can get down with that.
That
All
sounds pretty damn sarcastic, so I don't think I'm down with that.
But you'd like it. Don't say you wouldn't like it. I don't know though if he'd fit in here. Unless I have a theory about that. That might be weird, but I'll talk about that later. Geiskar, likes.
I liked how they represented Vader from the very beginning. You see him on, you know, his ship, his Star Destroyer. The reflection, the way it's filmed, the way that you see the reflection of his helmet, you know, on the window, and his back is to us. The whole scene there with Reva, her kneeling in front of him, you know, when he says kneel, you know, obviously he's a power trip, right? He wants to keep proving that he's powerful, and I liked how that ties into those flashbacks, because it's those flashbacks that he's going through his mind, that he still hasn't learned the lessons that Obi-Wan is trying to teach him. So I like that fact because it ties into A New Hope. The fact that last time I saw him, you were but a learner, right? The fact that he's still learning. And I liked how I liked the flashbacks, that I liked the quality of the flashbacks. I'll talk about that later, but I liked how that tied in. I love the fact that the droid thing, like number one said, the droid and Tala send off with the thermal detonator. That, you know, I thought that was awesome. Well done. I also like the Force Unleashed scene with Vader showing, you know, what he can do with his power. And that just goes to prove that they're going to tie in Starkiller into this as well. It all leads to a very possible, Disney being Disney, they might make one, a live action Starkiller. Who knows? Why not? They like to give everybody a series now, it seems. So I overall, those were my main takes from it. But top of the line, the whole Vader, how Vader was represented and how they OP'd him in his power, with this little martial arts. I don't need a lightsaber, and I can just push you around everywhere. It was cool. It was cool to see.
Okay, great. Anzo.
Yeah.
What are your likes?
Like everybody said from the start, you just get a lot of Vader. And of course, Vader is like one of the most iconic villains in the history of every movie. So they didn't ruin him, It was good to know that Vader had already knew what Reva was planning. Like he says it, you think you're hiding from me or whatever. I knew what you were doing. We all knew that the Grand Inquisitor real one wasn't dead. So to see him come back, it's like, okay, yeah, he's not dead. The fight with Reva, oh my God, Vader destroyed her. Now I get it. They kind of, at least I think they kind of made him a little bit OP. You know what I mean? But when he's just blocking everything with the Force with a lightsaber and everything, I was like, yo, this is wicked. And he grabs it from her, breaks it in half, and he pretty much throws it on the floor and it's like, yeah, come test me. You know what I mean? He's like, okay, you want to test? Come test me. And then when she grabs it, he does this little move where he like kicks her foot and she falls and then uses the Force to grab it out of her hand. It's just the cinematography for that was great. I still think Reva using the lightsaber is kind of clunky a bit, but Vader actually makes that scene. And like Aishka said, when he did the Force Unleashes it, a lot of people Twitter like, oh, you copied that from JJ. I'm like, no, they didn't copy that from JJ Abrams. They copied that from JJ.
I saw that too, man. I was like, what the hell are these people talking about?
JJ copied that from Force Unleashed, guys. That's where it originally came from. And when I played that part in the game, I've always wanted to see that in the movie. I'm like, I want to see that done. And then they did it in The Last Jedi, Rise of Skywalker, and it just wasn't good the way it was done. But when Vader does it, it just hits. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah.
Before you go too much further, let me say something else. When you see Rey do it, she monumentally fails at what she's trying to do, which is land it. Vader lands the thing, and then he tears it apart. So I think that shows much better his control of the whole thing. He brings it down, and he gets it just close enough, and then he drops it, and then he tears it apart. It's like it's very calculating.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And even the bait and switch was pretty cool. Like when you see the ship come down and nobody's in it, like of course we know they're gonna get away, but the way they did it, I thought it was pretty cool. I enjoyed that. Obi-Wan, of course, Ewan McGregor is always great as Obi-Wan. He always does a great performance, especially when Tia's dying and he's like hunting her down and like Tia is looking for her and shit. I'm like, yeah. He's good, man. That's why I say I think this episode is great. There are a few things that I didn't like about it, which we'll get into the dislikes, but so far, I watched it like 4 times already. I'm like, yo, this is fire. The music again. Like, this is why I tell you, and to me personally, I just don't think no one does Star Wars music better than John Williams. He just does.
Okay,
they just
so
don't.
you know,
it is him, right? Doing all the episodes.
The main theme was written by him. He has been a musical supervisor to, I can't remember the woman's name, but there's actually somebody else doing most of the music. He came up with the main theme. And I think he has led her to use or infuse parts of his themes into it. But I'm not sure. I'll have to look that up really quick. So
pork chop bones.
So that's what I'm saying. So even if he's not like 100% doing all of it, he's at least consulting on it, right? So that's why it's just to me it's just good. It's above everything else I've heard from Disney Star Wars music. I just enjoy it. The music when he's fighting Reva is lit. I enjoyed this episode, and I don't understand the hate that's coming off of it. I just don't. But that's me.
Okay, just so you know, it is done by Natalie Holt, who did the music for Loki. So right there, Austinator's probably just throwing up right now. But no, she's the one that did the music for Loki, and the Kenobi theme was done by John Williams. But
God, that puts a bitter taste in my mouth.
I told you I do it. But he is a part. He's been a part of the music for this, and again, I think I think they may have thought we need to do this like Star Wars. So, all right. Anything else, Anzo?
Mm-hmm. No, that's it.
Okay.
Either or, John Williams knows Star Wars music better than anybody.
Oh yeah. Danny, as long as you're making pork chops for everybody.
You know.
Yes to y'all, no to Shifty.
Okay, I'm fine with that. I'll buy that for $1. Anyways, Danny, what are your likes?
I like everything like what everybody said. I call it Force Kata because I've never seen no shit like that what Vader did before in my life. It reminds me of Kata movements. He's blocking everything and just like, okay, like Anzo said, you want to test me, I'm gonna show you what I got. I would love to see Obi-Wan maybe 10 years younger fighting Vader because I think it would be different than what we're seeing now. Because it seems every episode that Obi-Wan is getting his mojo back. I don't think we're going to see them go head-to-head in real time. I think the flashback was the second, so to speak, duel we saw between them, I'm thinking, and I'm cool with that. The flashback was really good, and the way they tied it in was really smart. Him showing the lesson and the thing about New Hope and being the learner and stuff, all that coincides. The only thing that I have a little bit issue with, because not issues, but concern is Leia. Him and Leia seems to be getting really tight. I don't know how they're going to fix that, but the robot and I think her name was Tila. I think I'm saying that correctly. I hate to see them get killed. I really like her as an actress. I think she stars on another television show I like. She's a very good actress. Overall, man, I really don't have any dislikes on this. Just like the concern I said earlier. Like I said, I think this is so far the best episode I've seen. I love Luke Skywalker. It's like this, Luke Skywalker, and the Ahsoka. Those are my top three. So, I like this a little bit better because Vader. I mean, it shows Vader, badass Vader. The Star Killer moment, the Force Kata, all that shit. It's something I want to see. I'm going to get up. I guarantee you, at 4:00 Wednesday morning to watch this, no doubt.
Anything else?
That's it. I hope the last episode will be at least an hour and some change.
Mm-hmm. It'd be nice. So this is what I call it, Danny. You called it. What'd you call it? The
Force Kata.
Vader was doing Force Kata. Okay, I actually call it Force Fu. I call it Force Fu because it reminded me of the scenes. Now, if you watch Legend of Kung Fu, if you've watched a lot of Kung Fu movies, you know, and Kill Bill, Pai Mei, I think is the old dude's name. He's in a lot of different things. That's like a reoccurring character throughout, and he is a Kung Fu master. A lot of the stuff he did in Kill Bill and other things, it's just he doesn't do anything. He just, you know, he moves around, and then, you know, he pulls his beard out and just basically looks at her and looks at whoever he's teaching and says, are you going to even try? Are you trying? Is this it? And that's basically what he was doing. I call it Force Fu because just the way he was doing it, it's like, and he's schooling her every step of the way. Now, I love that scene. We all love that scene. I think that, again, what was that?
I was gonna say, just can I say, like, can't remember which episode it was, but I was actually the one that called Reva trying to get Darth Vader and not Obi-Wan.
Oh yeah, mm-hmm. and it seemed very much that the whole point of getting to Obi-Wan was to get to Vader.
Yeah.
And we'll get to that here in a minute too, or in the next section. And I think Anza knows what I'm going to say. Maybe he'll say the same thing too. I don't know.
So before this, they could never go see Vader when they wanted to.
It's not that Vader's very much. Why would you? I mean, I think that if you don't have a reason to go see him, or he doesn't want to see you, you don't get to see him.
But I'm saying,
literally,
didn't he train?
That's how it's always been.
Didn't he train them?
It doesn't. Well, yeah, but it's kind of the way I think it is with the Inquisitors is it's kind of a mix between him and the Emperor. Plus, a lot of their training, it's just they unlock the dark side within them, and they're not. And again, they don't really try to train the Inquisitors because they don't want the Inquisitors to be
the rule of two.
Yeah, it's a very touchy thing on that.
Don't want to take over.
Yeah,
they're not Sith, basically. They're just
they're not. No, they are not. I did like the reveal, though it seemed expected. We all were waiting for it. I liked the reveal of the Grand Inquisitor coming back. And the best part about this episode really was the mirror or the similarity showing the past scene with Obi-Wan and Anakin, and then kind of cutting to what was currently going on, and that being like a lesson. Like, here's this part of a lesson when he thought he was winning. He thought he was going to win that thing. And then what Obi-Wan did. And it's like, it's replaying throughout this whole episode that short lightsaber battle between the two of them. At the end, when he pulls the ship down and he pulls it away and he finds out nothing's in there, then he sees the ship go off, he realizes that he thought he had won and he hadn't. And again, here's Obi-Wan teaching this lesson again. It's coming back. He is yet to learn that even when you think you've won, it may not be over. You must keep your eye on the prize the whole time. So he's realizing still that he's still being blinded by things. He's still doing the same thing that Obi-Wan has used against him. And what would really piss Vader off is this is why he's in this damn suit. This is why he's in this damn position, is because he did these things already and Obi-Wan used it against him. Now, I'm pretty sure that there are going to be people that bitch about this, but I did like the scene on the terrace. I liked the scene on the terrace. It reverts back to when we see the kids on there. It's the same terrace that the kids are practicing on when we see Order 66 executed. I like that callback on Coruscant. While the de-aging may have needed a little better work done in places, I don't think it was horrible throughout the whole thing. Obviously, with Obi-Wan, it works a lot better because he has the beard and some other stuff that fixes the areas like your smile lines and stuff like that are very difficult for those people to do. So it really shows up on Hayden Christensen. But when Hayden is just not smiling as much or whatnot, it seemed to work really well. So I did like that scene. I know I'm going to hear a couple people probably not like that. It's fine. Yeah, I think the biggest thing is the correlation between that fight on the terrace and the episode itself is basically just a full replay of that. And again, when he realizes Reva's right there, and he says, "Did you not think I'd see you coming?" It's him learning some of that very thing, but he still knows he has more to learn, which I think goes back to he's still a learner. So this very well may be the last time Obi-Wan and him see each other. It might be, but we'll have to see. Let's get to the dislikes. I'm going to start up here with Danny. Danny, dislikes. Nope.
I really didn't have a lot of dislikes. Maybe Reva kind of playing her hand a bit too early. I think maybe it was a bit too early to try and do that. One thing I thought was kind of silly, if they did all that, why didn't they just kill her? Be done with it. Because if she survived that as a child, who said she wouldn't survive it again? So, and if to me that sounded like showed a little mercy when Darth Vader should be showing mercy. So I think if I was in that position, I'd go ahead and take her out. But I guess that's plot device.
I think he knows that she's got something else planned, and he may not know it, but he knows something else is up.
Yeah.
But okay.
Trying to think. I didn't like the fact that the robot and the woman got killed. I would like to see them survive that. I think she could have been very intricate and further online in the story, but the way they did it was okay. But I would prefer to see them survive that. Maybe not the robot, but definitely her. It's kind of like Hawkeye and Black Widow. I would prefer it would have been Hawkeye versus Black Widow. So I prefer it to have been the robot versus her. But the fact that they did it is okay. But if I was writing the story, if I had any input, I would not have killed her off. Not quite yet. And basically, that's about it.
Okay. Anzo, dislikes.
Yeah. So I have pretty much maybe 3 dislikes. One, the CGI, the de-aging, it didn't look that good. Like there's scenes where it looks okay, but it's really clunky, man. At times when Obi-Wan first walks in, it just doesn't look like his head is placed on his shoulders properly. It just looks weird. My second one is the fucking little droid. They're like, oh, they put a tracking device in the droid. So the tracking device in the droid is what makes the droid turn bad and do all the things that it did. Like
it was a restrainer bolt.
Yeah, but a restrainer bolt just stops the droid from doing things. It doesn't take control over the droid, right?
No, it makes it so you can tell it to do things. But
right.
I understand your problem with it, though. I do understand that.
But so I'm just like, that's kind of weird to me. And then Leia, she grabs it and just pulls it out so easy, boom, and then the droid's back, right? So I'm just like, oh, okay. And the last one I really have is that they didn't kill Reva. I'm sorry. That's Vader killed people for a lot less. You know what I mean? Like a lot less than that. And Reva pretty much tried to kill him. So there's no reason why she should still be alive. I think he should have killed her, and I think the last episode should have focused on Vader and Obi-Wan. That's what I think. But we already know, if you read the rumors, what's pretty much going to happen in the last episode, because so far what they've said is going to happen has been pretty much on point, right? So I just think they should have killed her. That's it.
Okay, fair enough. Guys, card.
My dislikes. So I also said that the CGI I find is a big flat slap in the face to every freaking fan of taking 2 iconic characters like that and not put in the freaking money and make sure the shit looks good. It's like they didn't learn from the Luke Skywalker moment when the CGI was bad. Then they got that fan guy to work on the CGI for the Book of Boba Fett. That's my pet peeve. Why can't they have a consistency and quality of what they're giving out there?
You should have hired that guy again.
For me, there's no excuse for that. Zero. It looks so crappy, and
they're doing it quick, and I don't disagree with
it's not an excuse for it though. They're doing it quick.
It shouldn't even have been done quick. That's a scene you take your time back. Oh, and just one more dislike before you go, guys. Because sorry.
No, it's all right.
The flashbacks worked, but I don't. George Lucas didn't like flashbacks in his movies, so I really like. I have issues with that. I like it, but I don't really like the flashbacks in Star Wars. That's all.
At least we didn't get back the tank.
Well, we did in episode 2 or 3. Which one did we get? We got him in a back the tank in it. Yeah, we got it.
Was it a flashback?
Well, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't in a flashback though. But yeah, we got.
It wasn't that George Lucas didn't like flashbacks. It's just he didn't show them because many times his characters would hear what happened in the past.
Yeah.
So that's a form of flashback, but it's not a flashback. So yeah. All right.
My other pet peeve was that blaster cannon. When they were trying to get through the door. So they're blasting nonstop that freaking cannon, Then Reva starts having a conversation. Okay, I don't know if it was through the Force or they were whispering through the door, but then she just sticks her lightsaber right through the freaking door. And we all know that, you know, in episode 1, when Qui-Gon stuck his freaking sword, his lightsaber through it, it took a while for it to melt. Now it was different alloys, possibly. We can get onto the physics of it, but it just, those are little inconsistencies where like, what the fuck? Now she, you know, she, it's like the length of her lightsaber made it through. You know what I mean? And you have this cannon going crazy on it. And I agree with Hanzo 100%. Reva should have been killed. And that's another, that brought me back to another pet peeve. She got stabbed and survived 2 stabbing wounds to her gut. Yet Qui-Gon gets it and he died.
Yeah.
He also got thrown out the window too. But
so, you know,
what I'm pissed is that I said it during the sequel trilogy that people can survive that, and they killed Han, and Han's dead. Han's dead. One of the best fucking Star Wars characters is dead, and this lady is taking 2 to the gut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because she's Force. She's got Force sensitivity.
Maybe she's a mutant. I don't know. But you know, those like my little gripes, right? And the things like that. And you know, like, you know, Leia seems to be a master electrician. So
you know,
that's like, you know, so,
you know,
yeah, that's like crazy shit. But that's basic it, you know. I don't think there was anything else. Well, that was pretty much it.
Wow, Dylan's little hobby says worst show Disney's ever done. I don't agree with that.
No.
Okay.
Have you been watching Miss Marvel?
Wow.
Yeah, that's not Disney. Like I said,
I don't understand all the hate for Miss Marvel. It's not that bad.
It's not that it's bad. It's just
it's not for our demographic.
Hey,
that's
listen,
Anzo,
I said one of my best friends is a little 16-year-old girl. One of your best friends is too.
Yeah, for real. For real. I said it's not bad. It's not a bad show.
It's not bad.
Horrible, but it's just like it's like Nickelodeon type of shit. And I don't want to watch that.
Hannah Montana.
All right.
It's like Hannah Montana.
Guys, anything else?
No, that was it, man. But I like that Nickelodeon.
That is what it is. It's like watching
exactly what it is. Yeah.
Hannah Montana, something like that.
Has those colors too.
Number 1, dislikes.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's like, when did lightsabers become so depowered? Basically,
for real.
To that, you can stab people left, right, probably even cut their heads off, and they'll still come back. So it doesn't matter. I mean, that's almost what it's come to now. To me, I mean, you know, it started with the sequel trilogy once Ben sliced up Finn, and yet he was okay, basically. So that was the downfall to me. That started the downfall of the lightsaber. Even though, but now it's gotten to ridiculous levels. Yeah, the Inquisitor got stabbed, so what? He's back. Reva got stabbed, so what?
Well,
2 seconds later, she's crawling back up. And
the Inquisitor, you can answer this way. The Inquisitor, what's the race he
has?
Has
2 stomachs.
Yeah, they have 2 stomachs.
Yeah.
So there is some believability in that.
Yeah, but Reva gets stabbed. Oh, no big deal. She gets back up, you know, and it's fine. So yeah. So yeah, it's like lightsabers are kind of a joke now, almost. Or maybe they purposely give the Inquisitors terrible lightsabers, I guess, or something that don't have full power. That's only explanation I got for it, because those have been the ones, because they used her lightsaber on her, so, and she used that same lightsaber on the Inquisitor. So therefore, you know, it's a sucky lightsaber, basically. That's all. That's the only reason.
So you're saying it's a dollar store lightsaber? That's what you're saying?
Yeah.
Dollar Tree.
Yeah, it's a Death Star Model 2 versus Death Star Model 1. Whatever. But
it's like GoBots.
That's my main thing is that lightsaber is a joke with their devaluation and this, but you know, like I said, I guess they give Inquisitors terrible lightsabers. That could be my only explanation for it. That they must not be full power or something. That they just cause, oh, it's just a flesh wound, you know, like Monty Python. It's just a flesh wound, you know. If you ever watch Monty Python movies, you know with the Knight's Knee or whatever it's called, classic. But yeah, I mean, yeah, that's my. Oh yeah, and then Leia. Oh, you got a little restraining bolt on your little robot. Let me pull that off of you, and woo, now you're a good robot again. Good robot, you know. Yeah, basically that scene was corny as hell. Basically, you know, it was pretty. That was probably the cringiest part of the episode.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, that's it.
Okay. Ostinator dislikes.
Well, it's basically what everybody said. I mean, the CG, like, as much as I like the flashbacks in the episode, the CGI did look very, very choppy, I guess is the best term I could really say. It didn't look as clean as you would think it would, especially for a Star Wars Disney Plus show. I mean, Luke Skywalker and Boba Fett looked better, and that's the one positive I will ever say about the book of anything but Boba Fett, is at least Luke looked okay. And also Vader should have killed Reva. I will agree with everybody. The problem is, and what Anzo said, Vader has killed people for much less. I mean, in Empire Strikes Back, the admirals fuck up once, and then Vader's like force choking him through the street. You know,
that's right.
Facts.
What would you think would happen if someone betrayed him? He'd be ripping you limb from limb.
She tried to kill him.
Exactly.
I think because the Inquisitor came back, and don't get me wrong, this is highly dependent on how they end it. But I think the Grand Inquisitor came back. I think that was the whole reason to give her Grand Inquisitor was he already has known that Grand Inquisitor was still alive. Grand Inquisitor's probably talked to him and says, listen, there's something about what's going on here with Kenobi. We need to follow this through, but she's our way in. We've got to make sure that she thinks she's got no place else to go but to exact revenge or whatever she's trying to do. I think they're using her because they know something more is up. And
but they did that to get to Obi-Wan in the first place, right? So Obi-Wan escaped. He don't know anything about her having more ties to Obi-Wan or that she's going to be going after him or anything like that.
But he can probably sense that things aren't done. That there's still something she's after.
Well, he does say that Obi-Wan got you to use what was it? He used you against me or something like that. So, I think he thinks he's still using her. I think he kept her alive. There's more to the story.
On how they end her or that side of things. It all depends on that. I'm not saying that's what it is, but anyways, go ahead, Ostinator.
I was also going to say, I feel like Reva's character arc, you could have ended it here, and it would have basically had the same outcome. Like, you could have killed her here, and it doesn't necessarily impact anything. Because, as far as we know for right now, she doesn't really impact the story that much. So, you could have killed her off here, and it wouldn't really change anything. Leia basically fixing the droid after she just finds it, and she realizes, oh shit, there's a tracker on it. Here, let me fix you real quick. Like, that was dumb. The death scene in the hangar, like, it was fine. I mean, it worked, but the problem is we didn't have enough time with these characters for it to be a very impactful death.
Fact.
It was just like, oh, okay, well, they died. That sucked. All right, it's time to move on. And then I got a couple other nitpicks that just in regards to the show. I think these episodes are way too short. Like, I feel like you could have added some time to these episodes, maybe giving Reva a little bit more of a backstory, because at this rate, the only thing we really know about her is that she was a Padawan during Order 66. She played dead, which that's actually another thing I gotta say is, she managed to trick she manages to trick Anakin of all people by playing dead. I'm like, okay, that's a little weird, but I mean that's fine. But again, that just came off to me as like a little like that's just convenience at that point. Other than that, I mean, those are really my negatives. I mean, some of these negatives do kind of hurt the episode a little bit for me, because those are like the things that kind of stick in my craw. And that's another thing. And then something number one brought up is that the lightsabers at this point are ineffective. I mean, Qui-Gon Jinn, and also hashtag Qui-Gon's a little bitch, because Qui-Gon can take a stab to the chest. He's dead. Everyone else takes a lightsaber to the chest, he's dead. But now,
that's why I'm getting mad here, because Disney's saying everybody can survive this now except for Han Solo.
Yeah, exactly. That's bullshit.
And I hate that. They are literally saying, hey, look, anybody can take a stab. I mean, they're going to stab Obi-Wan. Watch this. They're going to stab Obi-Wan. He'll survive.
Like, it's literally getting to the point. It's getting to the point where a character can get stabbed and be like, oh shit, I got stabbed by a lightsaber. Well, that sucks. Anyway, let's go about my day now. That'll heal in about 2 days. That'll be fine. It's a flesh wound. But that's dumb. I didn't like that. It's just those negatives really do hurt the episode for me, because it's like shit you could have easily fixed. You know what I mean? Like, and because you do stupid shit, it's like that immediately goes like, what the fuck are they doing? Like, so those are my negatives.
Okay. All right, Jason Lee, go ahead and tell everybody what you think.
I was talking about Han. Well, Han, he did get stabbed, but he fell, and then the damn planet blew up too. So I mean, he could have survived. Yeah, but he could have survived, but nobody rescued him off that planet after it blew up. So I mean, he could have been. Yeah,
I'm just saying
he could have been alive down there.
They've established more. They've established so many ways that they could have saved Han Solo's character. I understand that goes back to Harrison Ford. Harrison Ford wanted out, so
but he's down in that pit doing this. I mean, he could have saved him, but the planet blew up and nobody saved him. So, negative dislikes. I mean, it's been covered here. The CGI. I mean, there's some really bad CGI with with the duel and all that, which everybody's pretty much covered. And Basco covered the other thing. The main thing I was going to talk about when him and Reva was sitting there talking at the door. And all of a sudden, she sticks her lightsaber through it, and she just knocks a little latch off, and then the door opens. So that was like, okay, that's a little cheesy there. It was too easy for her. Besides that, I mean, I really didn't have any other really problems. Only thing is time. I mean, we got one episode left, and there's a lot to go. I mean, look, we still that ship they're on is it's broken down. You got to start a story behind them. They're going to catch up. They're going to have some kind of confrontation there. You got to get Layla back to her planet. And now Reyes. Reyes going to Tatooine. So the only problem there is going to be, and it's going to be hit with a bit of a candidacy, especially if Rhea lights her lightsaber in front of Luke and all that. So that's a possibility. We don't know yet because we haven't seen the episode, but. It's like going towards that way, but it's just a lot. It's got to happen in this last episode unless we get a season 2. So that's the only thing I'm worried about. But besides that, I mean, I enjoyed the episode.
Hey, Poe, what's going on? Good to see you. All right. So my dislikes, and I have an answer after when we get around to the grade and stuff. I have an answer for a couple of things you just mentioned, and how they'll save time in the next episode, more than likely. But we'll talk about that here in a second. Dislikes, as much as I do like what they're doing and showing us, I'm like, this is still showing Disney doesn't have their own ideas. They've taken from Force Unleashed, and they've taken from Jedi Fallen Order, and I'm fine with that because it's cool to watch it. It's cool, but what's the first thing everybody's thought? Hey, they did that in this game. Hey, they did that in this game. And it does create a plot hole. I saw that, and I mean, I guess it does and it doesn't in the last episode when he goes and he swims down and he gets in to the place. The lady that helped him get in, Leia, or no, what's her name? Somebody help me.
Tila.
Tila.
Tala.
She helps him get in, but he basically gets in the exact same way that Cal Kestis does 5 years beforehand. It's like, I mean, I understand Death Star 2, you know, the Empire has a way of repeating the same mistakes. Great. But, yeah, there's a lot of that going on. The whole Leia thing in this, the whole Leia thing with the robot and everything was just needless waste of time when she was on screen, and I hated that. Because she's been pretty damn good this whole time. And here's this little pointless part of this. So, I don't know. I just think that was just not done well.
I think they just did that to give Leia something to do. Because
I think so. I do.
Nothing for her to do in that episode.
Then one of the biggest things, so when I'm watching the scene where they're shooting at the bulkhead, when they're shooting at the door, and then he decides he's going to give himself up. The fact that they are, I thought that the hangar thing that they were in was on the backside of that door. Then you find out that there's this little corridor that goes to that. And I didn't see anything else that made it seem like that until that part where they come back in and retreat. And I'm sitting there going like, okay, then why are they even in that corridor? You lock that door, you put a bunch of explosives outside the next door or something, and then you lock the next door, and they're not getting in. It's like, I didn't really, I was like, boy, that's just bad. That's bad writing right there. It's like, I understand you get a couple good scenes in that corridor and stuff, but really, if I'm trying to buy time to get out in my ship, I'm not going in that corridor. I am throwing everything I can. I'm throwing, fucking thermal detonators in there and rigging them to blow when something trips or something. I'm doing something. I'm doing Home Alone in that whole corridor, and I'm keeping my happy ass in the hangar. But they don't do that. So I wasn't sure. I kind of was like, oh, okay. I mean, I didn't hate that part of it. It just seemed a little, again, misguided in the writing. So those are some of my things. All right, let's do our rankings, predictions, all that stuff right now. Danny's about ready to fall asleep, so we'll start with him.
It's been a long day. I give this definitely an A. I will say that Disney is being extremely consistent as far as their character development, and I will show you the specific example. On all of these stories, mainly if there's a young female character, we all don't like her at first. But then as the series grows, she seems to grow on us. I think that's happened with Omega. It's happened with Ahsoka. Now it's happening with Leia. At first, she was very annoying. Now everybody seems to love her, and she doesn't get on people's nerves with that. So they're consistent in doing that. I see Shifty said there will be a final scene. I'm going to agree with Anzo. I mean, I think Guy Scar said it. I don't want to see that. I think the two that we already saw was sufficient enough to me. But they probably will do anyway. And if it's a lot of Darth Vader, I'm probably going to like it. But right now, I think this episode, it is my favorite out of all of the Star Wars series. And I think they're going to continue to, I hope they continue and don't blow it at the end. The only concern I have is how they're going to get Leia and New Hope, how they're going to get that relationship between her and Kenobi. Because she definitely should know him and should definitely remember him unless they put some kind of Jedi mind trick and wipe her mind or something. I don't know if that's even in the Jedi's repertoire, but I'm curious to see how they're going to do that.
Well, the Jedi did actually do that. If they follow the Old Republic, they did that to Revan, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, they can do that.
Okay. Well, hopefully we'll see that technique. 'Cause like I said, before this, I never saw Force Kata, but Force Kata seems to be pretty fire.
All right. Anzo.
Yeah, this episode for me, I'll give it. I'm gonna give it an A minus. I'm gonna take away a little bit for the not killing Reva and that droid part that I didn't like. Other than that, man, I think I'm with Danny. I think it's the best thing they've done so far. Better than the Luke moments. I won't say it's completely better than the Ahsoka episode in Mando, but it's right up there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's probably 1A and 1B. But yeah, A minus for me. Great episode.
Okay, great. Geisker.
Man. I have to say, B minus.
Okay.
B minus. And that's because of Vader. Like, I can only give it that high. I still think that the writing is still weak throughout the whole series. But I'm dying to see how they're going to finish this up. I'm really curious to see how everything ties in and how, if it's going to make sense. In other words, are they going to keep, coherent the story and not go retcon anything, right? So far, they're playing with words, so
they are definitely skirting a line right now.
Yeah, exactly. So let's see how it just ends, and once it ends, then I can really grade this thing as a whole. I have trouble grading it as parts because we all know this is supposed to be a movie. There's even talks that they may release it in the theaters.
They are.
They are? Okay.
Are they going to cut it up and take things out?
No, it's 5 hours.
Yeah.
Okay.
5 hours.
So
I seen it on I seen it on the Cineplex site, guys. Go.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
I heard about it. I didn't research about it, so but
I ain't going to see that shit.
there's probably people that are gonna go see it.
5 hours is crazy.
I watch that shit for free at home. I ain't going to pay for that. Now, if I thought it was like the best thing Star Wars or whatever, then yes, but it's not.
But that's the thing. There's people out there that there's people out there that think it's really, really good. There are people out there that are losing their mind with this series.
Yeah.
So, those people.
Well, I think I'm going to work with an Android on an Android cut. It's going to be better than Disney's going to do it. Because Disney's just going to throw it all together.
Right. Are we doing what we expect is going to happen as well, or just our grade?
Sure.
I don't know, man. Honestly, I don't, like I said, and I voiced this before, I don't want to see another Vader Obi-Wan fight. I think that would be too much of an overkill. The way it seems it's going to be a Reva and Obi-Wan possible showdown.
Yeah,
with maybe the Inquisitors, and if they're gonna go that route, where the rumor is that she's gonna turn good and help Obi-Wan with that fight, possibly. But that's pretty much what I predict may happen. But I don't want to see another Vader Obi-Wan.
I agree. I don't want to see it either, and I have a feeling that, like Jason said, the last episode is going to be centered around Reva and Obi-Wan, and I don't think that's the right way to go with that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Anything else? Anything else? Geisker?
Oh, no, I'm good. No.
All right. Sorry. Number 1, go ahead.
Well, she does say, "Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're my only hope," in her message, right?
Yes.
So, she doesn't say, "Help me, Ben, you're my only hope." But yet, when Luke pops into the prison to free her,
he says Obi-Wan.
He jumps up
No,
and
she
says,
Ben.
"Ben Kenobi, where is he?"
Because Luke comes in and says,
Ben.
"I'm here with Ben
Yeah,
Kenobi." And she
Ben
said,
Kenobi.
"Ben Kenobi, where is he?" But she knows it was both by this time.
Yeah. So
because she's heard both.
Yeah. So I don't think they're force wiping her at all.
I just would think you'd remember all of this, and she doesn't act like any of this happened. I'm with Hanzo on that, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't see a force wipe at all. I just think Disney's going to say this is what happened, and that's it basically. That they're not going to give an explanation for why she does or does not remember all this stuff that happened. They're just not going to give us an explanation. They're just going to say, okay, whatever. But yeah, of course we're getting another Vader Obi-Wan fight. That's what they've said before, that we're going to have two. So, and the second one is supposed to be even more awesome than the first Obi-Wan Vader fight. So, obviously, Ben has to at least have a draw in this again or something.
You see, that's the thing. They're supposed to think Obi-Wan is dead by the end of the series. You know what I mean? So there's gonna have to do something to make them think that Obi-Wan is dead, which means he might have to fight Vader again. But where are they gonna fight? On Tatooine? Like, because
I'm worried about.
He's going to take Leia home, and then he has to go back to Tatooine, right?
Yeah,
we already know that
on the ship,
right?
Because if it's on the ship, he'll tear the ship apart.
Right? And we already know Reva's on her way to Tatooine because of the message now. So
I don't think they're fighting again.
I hope not.
I think they did the thing that, like I said, this played out that scene on the terrace where Vader has now realized he's still being taught or schooled.
Yeah, but
he's
but
being
Vader,
schooled. It's like,
yeah, but Vader doesn't think Obi-Wan is dead, right? Oh wait,
not yet.
No. Yeah,
that's where the whole drunk 3PO thing does come into play, and it makes sense. I just don't think he had. I think we're going to see something different. I'll get to that here in a second. Number one, keep going.
Oh yeah, and grade. A minus.
My God,
clip it.
That is crazy, dude. Have you ever, besides like maybe 1 or 2 episodes, given anything higher than like a D minus?
Actually,
or D plus for Disney Plus?
Now that I think about it, I don't think you have to think Obi-Wan is dead, because isn't there a part in Star Wars where Vader tells him he senses Obi-Wan and he says surely he should be dead by now? And Darth Vader says, don't underestimate the Force.
No. What he does is he says, I sense something I have not felt since, and he stops. Doesn't say where or when, so that helps their case here.
Oh, but
Tarkin
says,
there's another scene.
Tarkin.
Tarkin
the first scene is Tarkin says, Obi-Wan? He must be dead by now. He says, it's him. I know it is. I know. Right. And then he says, like, I know.
The Obi-Wan that remains of his kind.
Yeah.
At one point, right. Okay, so sorry.
What
at one
is
point,
he probably thinks. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Sorry. Yeah. So at one point, he does say in the first border room meeting, he says that Darth Vader is the last of a dying breed. But then later on, where Darth Vader says he senses Obi-Wan, and I'll go back and watch it, I believe he says, surely he should be dead by now, which means if they're saying surely he should be dead, then that means that they don't think he's dead. And that's when Darth Vader says, don't underestimate the power of the Force.
I don't think they say, you are my friend of the last of a dying breed. I think that's Tarkin telling him that when he says Obi-Wan is there. And then the alert comes over, he hits the thing and says there's been a break-in and in the prison lockup. And then that's when Vader says, it's him, I know it is, and he goes away. He says, I'll deal with him myself. And it's like it happens really quick. I think in the first one, it's the guy that looks at him and says, your devotion to your sad faith or whatever. And then when he's choking him, all Tarkin says is this bickering won't help anything, and that's all he says there. It's later on that he does say, You, my friend, are the last of your kind. And that's when the alert goes on. He hits the button, and that's when Vader says,
I'm going to check.
It's him. Yeah. Anyways. Number one, anything else?
I have it right here. Hold on.
Okay. Yeah. Here, you want to share it? Let's watch it. Let's just watch it. Screw it.
Give me a sec. Share.
Because I'm pretty sure that scene with Tarkin near the end.
He says Obi-Wan's here and the Force is with him, or something like that, I believe.
Yes.
Ready?
Go ahead.
Right.
Yeah. Obi-Wan Kenobi. What makes you think so?
A tremor in the Force. The last time I felt it was in the presence of my old master.
Surely he must be dead by now.
See? He says, surely he must be dead.
But wait.
The Jedi are extinct. Their fire has gone out of the universe. You, my friend, are all that's left of their religion. Yes.
We have an emergency alert in detention block AA-23.
The princess? Put all sections on alert.
Obi-Wan is here. The Force is with him.
If you're right, he must not be allowed to escape.
Escape is not his plan. I must face him alone.
See, so, I think
but that's
maybe he okay, so if Reva does do what Drunk 3PO says, and Vader kills her because he's like, there's no way in hell you killed. There's no way in hell that you killed Obi-Wan. He might not believe he's dead, but he doesn't know where he's at.
No, but that's my point. At the end of the series, then he doesn't have to think Obi-Wan's dead, because if he's saying surely he must be dead, then that means they don't know what happened to Obi-Wan. And then Tarkin says you're the last of a dying breed. So they don't know what happened to Obi-Wan after the series.
Right. Like something must have happened that they make him assume he's dead.
Right.
Mm-hmm. All right. Austinator. And number one, are you done?
Yeah.
Okay. Just want to make sure. Austinator. Austinator. He might. Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes. You have a lag.
Oh well. All right. As far as the show is concerned.
Oh. Okay. We'll get back to him. Jason Lee Tucker, go ahead.
When he's back, you want to get him?
If you can hear me right now, can you hear me? He still has a major lag, so go ahead.
Grade wise, I'm giving it an A, between A minus. I mean, like I said, there's a few little things, can't give it that A plus, solid. It's almost solid A, leaning towards A minus in between there. Like I said, I enjoyed this episode. The episode was fire. Going into this next episode, a little worried because knowing where Disney is, this next panel next week could be like a Geeks and Gamers freaking teardown of the freaking episode. It could be that, or it could be, we could be like praising the hell out of this next episode. I'm a little worried because Disney could go a lot of different ways. I said we're looking at them trying to make money. They're going to go into a second season. It's all depending on what they do. If you get a Vader fight on Tatooine and Layla's still with Obi-Wan and on Tatooine, which who knows? More likely, but who knows what Disney's thinking. We could have a clusterfuck from hell. I'm just saying. That's the only problem. And hopefully that doesn't happen. But I'm a little worried until I see the season, see this next episode, and see how he phrases. Hopefully we don't see that, but but this episode, like I said, good solid A. Between this A minus, but. Hopefully, Disney don't do a Disney thing next week. So, something I'm saying.
Well, I don't think the Mandalorian's been a clusterfuck that bad. I think it's been pretty good.
I'm just saying, but I'm just saying though,
they can do something. There's.
But if you see Vader on Tatooine fighting Obi-Wan, and this Rhea kidnaps Luke or something, and she lights her lightsaber in front. there are going to be some problems. I mean, how are you really going to explain that then? Because just in case, I mean, not saying it's going to happen, but just I know how Disney is. They're going to try to figure something where we can then extend this to another season, and then just canon ain't going to be no canon anymore.
Well, I am waiting till the end because like Anzo
that's
said,
what I'm saying.
Like Anzo said, and I think Anzo and I have talked about this a little bit. We've talked about this, Danny, away from this, but I think what Anzo and I, as time has gone on, has figured out is that there's a lot of things that Disney, and I said this when Guys were speaking, they are skirting the line. This is very much Obi-Wan's way of saying from a certain point of view. This is all dependent on how you take the words that are in that first movie. Because if you take them and you're like, oh, he said this, and then you go back and you watch it, like, wait a minute, I see where they're getting away with this. I see right here. So there's a lot of that going. And we might find out with Leia and stuff like that she'll say something or something will happen. Just enough will happen that makes you think otherwise. I'm going to talk about some of my stuff here in a minute. I'm sorry I keep saying something. Anything else, Jason?
That's about it. Like I said, I'm hoping, I mean, I'm not, against the second season, but like I said, you're riding that fence line and, just one little leap over, it's going to be very interesting. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see Vader on Tatooine or even Leia. They need to get her back to her home planet and get her off the, finish her arc or story up and, he needs to get back to Tatooine, but whatever happens. But and then it's time too. Like I said, it's one episode. Hopefully, next episode is an hour and a half, maybe. 35 to 40 minutes is kind of a lot to do.
Max is 40 minutes is 1 hour, but I'm not sure. All right. Anything else?
That's it.
Okay. Austinator, are you there?
Yes.
Awesome. Good. All right. Yeah. You had that major that 30-second, 10-second gap there. That I hate when that happens, but. Good to hear now. Go ahead. Final thoughts, grade, all that stuff.
Well, what I was going to say was Vader is definitely covering up a lot of hurt with this show, because if this show pulled a Boba Fett and Vader wasn't in it as much, this show definitely wouldn't be as good as it is, because the writing is very messy. I think the quality does shift from being good to okay to pretty bad. This episode was definitely one of the better episodes, but again, the negative stuff does kind of stick in my, it's kind of one of those things that some of it's little things, but then as it continues on, it's like it starts to become bigger problems, and it's like, oh God, really? I'd probably give this episode around a B- C+ range. It wasn't a bad episode. It was just the bad stuff just was like, oh God, really? Because like I said before, it's the little shit that could have easily been fixed. You know what I mean? Like somebody could have looked at that and said, that doesn't really work. Like maybe we should rewrite that. As far as last episode, I mean, I feel like in a realistic sense, they probably should do the rematch with Vader and Obi-Wan, because for a show that's been hyping this up as the rematch, this epic rematch, we haven't really seen it yet. I mean, the two fights we've seen of them, yeah, they were cool, but at the same time, there hasn't been enough of it. There's not that epicness. Besides maybe that last portion of the first fight in episode 3. But then again, they have to kind of finish up the stuff with Reva and stuff like that. So it's a little weird on how they're going to do it. And I hope the episode's longer, and I hope they're able to tie everything up in the last episode.
Okay. All right. Okay. I give it an A-. There's some things that definitely could have been tweaked in this. Now, I'm going to get to Jason Lee's stuff, and a lot of other people are saying, oh my God, they could go down on Tatooine and all that. I don't think any of that's going to happen, because they're not going to follow them all the way to Tatooine on that ship. They're just not. So I think something's going to happen. They're going to, let's make Lola, the little robot, be the hero this next time. And she's going to go in and find out this little wire is not on, and click it, boom, hyperspace, done. Something like that. I don't know that for sure. What was that?
Private chat.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Okay. If you guys got to jump, go ahead and jump. I understand. That's all good. Shout out your channels one more time, both of you.
And comment chat. Catch you tomorrow night, Tuesdays and Wednesdays on Anzo's show, and along with Chris' show. Sometimes Saturdays, Fridays again on Anzo's show for Ms. Marvel, and of course next Sunday will be the finale. Are we ready to discuss that? Thanks for having me on the show. Enjoy screening everybody. We'll catch y'all later on.
All right, take it easy, guys. Go ahead and tell everybody about yourself one more time.
Yeah, Basketball Scenario. Catch me on my show, The Hangout, Wednesdays at 8 p.m. and Fridays at 9 p.m. So thank you for having me, Chris. Take care, guys.
Take it easy. All right. So he's not gonna be on that ship. He can't fight Obi-Wan on that ship. I don't think he's gonna go to Tatooine. I think that he thinks Reva is gonna try to, like, I think they're pushing Reva to do whatever they think. They don't know what she's doing. They just know that she's trying to do something, and they think it'll benefit them. So they're pushing her and mocking her and making her more pissed off, which is all dark side stuff. It's all make her use her hatred. So she's sitting there, and I didn't say this. One of the things I did not like is that basically Obi-Wan throws her under the bus, which is not a Jedi trait. You don't just use her as bait. And whether or not he believed that Vader was going to actually know she was coming, he should have said, listen, this isn't the place or the time. I need to get out of here. Wait, and you'll know when the time is. And I don't know. I just think that whole thing was very un-Jedi-like. He probably, he had to have known that if she did anything, he was just going to wipe the floor with her, and she does, or he does. So I had a problem with that. But I think they are using this to she's getting pissed off and she's mad. Now she's really mad because I bet you she feels the same way, that Obi-Wan threw her under the bus just to get away. And then when she sees that thing, the hologram disc, and says those things, she's like, I'm going to fuck his world up. Children, what is this about? She knows Leia's around, so now she's thinking Leia and a kid on Tatooine. What the hell is this all about? So she's going to go try to figure that out. That's her thing. And I know everybody's like, well, Vader should see that coming. No, Vader doesn't. No one person ever sees exactly what's coming. The Emperor didn't see Vader throwing him over. Vader did, and also the Emperor didn't know Luke was on the planet. Vader did. I mean, so there are plenty of examples of where Vader doesn't know everything or this, but they know something. They know something's up and that she still has a purpose. So they're letting her think they've abandoned her, and all she's thinking now is I'm going to show Obi-Wan, and then I'm going to show that I'm stronger than this. And she wants to show everybody. That's that dark side of the Force. It's like, I'm going to prove I'm better. And so I think that what Anzo said is that the last part of this is going to be very much about Obi-Wan trying to turn her back, and Reva going to Tatooine. I think that we're done. Speed up. They don't have to go to Alderaan. Where was the last place we saw Gail Organa? We saw him on Tatooine. Maybe he's still there because he said, I'll watch the boy. Did he not say that?
Yeah, he said he'd go there.
Okay, so he could still be on Tatooine waiting for Obi-Wan to come back. So we've now cut down more things we need to answer. So he doesn't have to go to Alderaan. He can go straight to Tatooine. We can speed it up with the hyperspeed or light speed, and we can get him. We can get him there quick because, like I said, I think they might do something with the robot figuring out the hyperdrive. So there's a lot of ways to cut things that aren't necessarily needed to be handled. But again, the biggest glaring thing of all of this is things like Reva cannot use a lightsaber in front of Luke. That would be remembered. And he doesn't know why Ben is this guy that his uncle doesn't want anything to do with. So I don't think it's going to happen at the homestead. If it does, it's going to happen outside or away from it.
Yeah.
So again, all these things combined. So Reva's the farthest behind. Obi-Wan's already gone. So in order to get Obi-Wan there before Reva, you're going to have to do something with the hyperdrive. Reva still has to find a ship. So there's several things that are helping this be Obi-Wan's going to cut her off the head and try to turn her. And if he does or doesn't, I don't know. And if the whole thing about what we heard about her trying to kill or go to the homestead from Drunk 3PO is correct, I don't know. I think the most plausible thing is he cuts her off the head, convinces her, no, go tell Vader that, go tell Vader you did this or you did that. I don't know. But I do believe she'll go tell Vader that she killed Obi-Wan, and that's when he'll lose his shit. Because he's like, no, there's no fucking way you did that. That is my job to do it. And then he will kill her. And honest to God, the best way to do that would be for him to force choke her, throw her up in the air, and then take his lightsaber and do that throw and slice her in half. I'd love to see something like that. But, yeah, I give it an A. And I think that they're still in a safe place with some stuff, that they're okay, that they haven't fucked anything up too badly. But I do worry about the Leia thing still. The Leia, because yes, okay, I understand. She says, "Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You are my only hope. You helped my father." Maybe she does know who he is. Maybe she does know that, because he said, "I helped your father." He did explain that he had done stuff for her father before. Maybe, but it's like she doesn't actually seem to know. Like, the stuff that has happened in this show seems to be stuff that she would not even mention her father. Like, wouldn't he remember this, or does she think he's so old and senile by now that he doesn't remember her? Maybe that's where they're going to go. Maybe they're going to make it sound like she just gave him a little bit of, this is who I am, because, whatever. I don't know. We'll have to see. Again, I'm going to wait. For that judgment until next week. With that said, guys, we've gone an hour and 33 minutes. There's a lot of things to discuss about this, and I think we're going to get the same thing next week. I really do. But, guys, I really appreciate all of you guys being here tonight. Let's go around one more time, have everybody talk about the channels. We'll start with you, Anzo. Go ahead. Tell everybody about yourself.
For entertainment, the channel. Like Chris and Danny say, we got the Chaos Central shows, Rule of Three, Chaotic Conversation, and Chaos List. Jesus, my own show. Then we got the OOC, So it's going to be a good week, but next week will be, not next week, the week after will be my birthday week. And I got some things planned for that. So it should be interesting, man. But thanks for having me, Chris. Great show.
Not a problem, man. I love it. It's always great having you here. Ostinator, tell everybody about you and your channel.
Yeah, sure. I'm the Ostinator, and because of work at this point, I just do stuff on my channel when I feel like it. If you want to, go and subscribe. I do a bunch of stuff over there. I basically just show up on everybody else's stuff, though, so just, check out everybody here. Chris, thanks for having me on.
Not a problem at all. Alrighty. Jason Lee. Tell them
What's
about
up?
yourself.
Jason Lee Tucker Statement. Starting back this Wednesday, we'll have me and Mike Stone, the Coffee Break Show, around 9 o'clock. Trying to get with Eric. We're going to probably start doing some wrestling shows and stuff. I think we got a big wrestling event coming up this weekend, so probably have a little stream on that, and be back here next Sunday to finish this thing off, and hope it all goes well. And we have a good upbeat discussions, and we're doing a hate stream next week. So we'll see what happens.
I don't think we're going to get a middle of the road thing. I think it'll either be a lot of hate
or a lot of love,
a lot of good with some well, they did this and this. I think we'll have, if it's good, it's really good, we'll have nitpicks.
One thing I was going to say, Chris, and I know this is added to it. I think because what you were saying, I think they're going to bring her back to Tatooine because it's funny, where she dropped, where the droid's fate. It was on Tatooine, so she on the original, that she knew where Obi-Wan planet he was on. So I mean, she'd have dropped that off on some other planet. How the hell is that going to get to him? With two droids. So it seemed like she knew what planet he was on. If you think of it, when going back to the original. I know it sounds a little odd, but because you dropped them droids off on the other side of the galaxy. How the hell were they going to get to Obi-Wan? So it's sort of like tying in. It was loosely based on something happened 40, 50 years ago, but now we can easily tie this in there too. So
yeah,
see what happens. So see if Disney can pull it off.
Yep. Number 1. Tell everybody about yourself and your channel, please.
Number one here. Catch me on number 1.
Very good. And I am Chris Knight. Real Review 3000 is my channel. ADHD for YouTube. My gaming streams, except for the weekly wrap up, which we had to cancel and move to next week. Today. My gaming streams will be over on Twitch now. My Xbox is tied to Twitch, so sometimes I'll be on there without a mic and I'll just be playing random games. So check my Twitch out. The Real Review 3000, all one word. That's how you find me on Twitch. But check out Chaos Central, guys. Like the other two guys said, 3 shows a week. Also Miss Marvel Roundtable on Fridays at 8:30 Eastern, and then next week we finish this up. Yeah, we went Roundtable, and actually, you know what? As the show's gone on, I've sat there and thought, man, now I don't know what they would do with the season 2. I really just don't think there's much they could do. But I'm almost sitting here going like, maybe I would like to see what they would try to do. Except for my thought is they end this on a great note. They end this on a good note. I'm going to say quit while you're ahead and just be done with
I don't want a season 2. Nope.
Yeah, I don't know. I just want to see more Hayden Christensen as Obi-Wan. I guess I don't care how that comes across. I just got to see that more. He's, Alec Guinness gave that character life, and then Ewan McGregor took it and said, how do I show a younger one? And now he's the guy filling in all those gaps from the beginning to this. And how can you not win with him as Obi-Wan? I mean, that's just crazy.
That Darth Maul. We get that Darth Maul scene,
That's the thing. Maybe they could do that and then show him doing things and learning. Maybe if we don't see Qui-Gon Jinn, maybe there's some of that. Maybe there's moments he goes and talks and trains more with Yoda. There are things they could do. I just don't know how it would work out.
You can hang him up with sand people for a good 2 or 3 episodes.
Anyways, with that said, guys, like I said, check out everybody's channel that's on here. Check out everybody's channel who's on all of our shows on this channel, because we like to have a lot of different people on. This channel is about that community. It's about everybody out there. Help us grow. We are 283 subs. We are 17 from 300. I want 300 very soon for this channel. We need your help. You've got to tell people who like this stuff, that are like you, that think like that have their own thoughts, their own ideas, and don't just go with what status quo is, or automatically not watch the show because somebody says it's crap. That's the thing. Listen, we don't necessarily think Miss Marvel is amazing, but we're watching it. Why? Because we want to give it an honest review. We don't want to sit here and just take what everybody else is saying and go with it. That's why you want people here, because this is about your opinions and everybody else's opinion, not just a status quo opinion. So guys, help us out and help us grow this channel. With that said, guys, I want to thank everybody who's here. We had literally like 14 to 15 people all stream long at least. We had 3 great polls up here. I'll go over them really quick. Did you like this episode of Obi-Wan Kenobi? 69% said yes. 30% said no. The next one was Vader well represented in this episode? 78% said yes. 21% said no. I don't know what those 21% were thinking, but okay, that's fine. And the last one, what is the rating you would give this episode of Obi-Wan? F, D minus, D, D plus actually got 36%. B minus, B plus, 36%. A minus or A, 21%. And C minus or C plus got 5%. So it was very much yes or no. And I think the next week's going to be the same. Anyways, with that said, guys, thank you very much. I've kept you guys here forever. Everybody, peace.